everybody. Welcome tonight. You are here with us, and we are excited to have our fun meeting. And this is our quarter auction. And so we have our quarter auctions right here. And we also have, so if you already signed up for quarter auction, one of these boards is going to be yours. And so we have, what do we have left? You girls pick your favorite number. Okay, who's that? Oh, Suzanne, you're number 1. And the other one bought tickets was Christina. You are number 3. All right. And then the ladies here in the room that bought tickets, they get 1 too. And so we have the bowl with the numbers in it. And so when we decide to have an auction, we go, okay, we're going to auction this off. It is 3 quarters, 4 quarters, whatever we decide to do. And we'll do 4 quarters. And so you throw 4 quarters in the bowl. So if you prepaid, we're going to use 4 quarters for that. And then we will draw. And the person that has their auction board up in the air because they're playing in that round, then they will hold their auction thing up in the air. If I pull that number, for instance, this one was number 6, but we didn't start yet. That number 6 would automatically win if her board was up in the air, because if her board's up in the air, that means she threw quarters in the bowl. If she chooses not to play that round, then she does not put her board up in the air. And when I pull up the number and say number 3, and there's not a 3 board in the air, we know she chose not to play, and we say loser. Now, we don't do that. We think it. We don't do it. All right. And so then we would draw again. So if that person chose not to play. Now, if you prepaid, then you're in all of the drawings, and we'll make sure of that with the 16 quarters. How many? Yeah, 16 quarters. And so we've got 4 drawings with 4 quarters going on tonight for sure. And then, I don't know, we might do a few more little extra ones. I don't know. We'll see what we do. Okay. All right. So let's get it started. And so let's do our first quarter auction. And what do we have for our first quarter auction? I can stand on the other camera, couldn't I? So our first quarter auction is coming right now. If you prepaid, and when you register, you can always, do you have your cards? Yeah. Okay. You guys are ready? And you have yours? Okay. And I love having people in the room tonight too. All right, our first quarter auction. I love these little guys. My little grandson takes these all the time for lunch. Yes. And they hold a sandwich in the side. You can put a whole sandwich in this, by the way. It's the way you cut it and put it in there that makes it work. All right, you cut a diagonal and you put the top corner of the diagonal there, here, and then the bottom corner there, and it works. It's crazy, but it works. All right, and then of course you have room here for some, you know what he likes to take? He loves cashews. He also loves little Ricky, yogurt covered raisins, or craisins, I guess they are. And he's a very unusual kid. So he loves really adult foods a lot of times, so spicy things and all kinds of fun things. But those are some of the things we throw in his little lunch to go. And so, and I will tell you, these are very practical. If you want to take it with you when you go out shopping or whatnot, and you want to make sure you have healthy foods, you put some almonds in here. Also, I like to use this part for some celery and then some dips, or some peanut butter and celery. So you could get real creative on making sure you have healthy snacks with you, no matter how long you're shopping or where you're at, or if you're going to run it, throw it for a snack at work, or break room at work, or lunch at work. You have that ready to go. So we're going to give it away for 4 quarters. That's $1. 4 quarters right now. And so our bowl with our quarters in our. Oh, thank you, honey. All right, here we go. Sorry. There we go. Change that. Oh, throw the quarters in. Yes, ladies. Throw the quarters in. Okay, 4 quarters. Our first draw, and the lucky number. It might be one that's left over because we have a few extras. Okay. Well, guess what? It's number 6, and 6 is in the air here in the kitchen. Congratulations, you're the first winner. All right. I don't know if her auction good tonight. Did not know I can get to you. Awesome. Really good. All right. So next we're going to turn it right over to well, Ellen's not here for we're having a little technical difficulties tonight.
Kind of makes it easy.
Yeah, Jessica hurt her back, and Ellen has a migraine. So we're going to Loretta. Ellen's on her way. Loretta has a migraine. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the other camera, and we have a recipe we're going to make. And we're going to do something totally different. I'm going to show you, instead of doing a demo for you, I'm going to show you how I run a party and do my demos. Is that good? That'll help everybody a little bit, right? And so I need anybody that wants to volunteer to come up and help me run my party.
Look at you.
All right.
You
And
are
so
today. Oh, Lord. Okay. Go.
we have the recipe here. Thank you for helping. All right, we have the recipe here. So you're going to be not only a recipe reader, you're going to also chip in. All right. And so Jeni is getting out the. I guess we have it. How convenient is that? There's the potatoes. Where's the cheese? Oh, cheese. Okay,
cheese.
So scalloped potatoes we're making tonight. We'll post this recipe, okay? And you want to introduce yourself, Joe?
Hi, everybody. My name is Pascalina DeVito.
That's so great. Hi, Pasalina. All right. And so, what do we call you for short? Or we say the whole thing?
No, everybody can call me Lena.
Lena.
Lena?
Lena. I love Lena. Yeah, my daughter's middle name is Eileen, actually. That's how much I
Okay.
love it. So
That works.
All right. All right.
Absolutely.
So we have our milk here, and we're gonna grate some cheese. Have you ever used this before?
I have not.
Okay, you're gonna love this. All right. And I will tell you that the reason I love it so much is because if you buy store-bought grated cheese, it's got literally, believe it or not, sawdust on it. I know that sounds disgusting, doesn't it?
gosh.
It's the chemicals on it that actually comes from wood pulp, and so I always call it sawdust. All right, and you know, I have to share with you, I just have, once I started grating my own cheese, I saw a really big difference in the taste of my sauces and all my recipes that I use grated cheese in. And when you make your sauces, you'll really see a difference in the consistency. And so it makes a huge difference, and it makes such a big difference. I refuse to buy grated cheese. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get this. And when I come in, I will come in from the grocery store. Usually I put my cheese away in the refrigerator because I like it really, really cold to grate it.
Right.
But when I put it away in the refrigerator, I will tell you that I right before. Sorry, we're gonna have to take a break.
We're going to get them upstairs.
Okay. Stop. All right. Two little adorable Yorkies. They're so bad. All right. So what I like to do though is really have it very cold and grate it here. And then also, I'll be honest with you, if I'm going to grate a little bit of cheese, I grate all of it. And then I store it in the refrigerator, grated for the next recipe. So if I only need a cup, I just grate it all.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator in one of our beautiful Tupperware bowls and just store it that way. And also, you know what, you could use the fridge smarts as well. Fridge smarts will keep cheese for you really nicely. And the little venting, it doesn't hurt at all. In fact, it helps it. It helps it stay. Keeps it from sticking together, because when you have a completely airtight seal, it can get moisture in there just because it's condensation. But if you just have that vent open all the way, that's such a tiny hole, it keeps from the moisture from condensating inside of the grated cheese, and it keeps it separated. Good to know?
Thank you.
Now, if you want to, you can sprinkle cornstarch on it. That won't hurt anything. But if you're going to use it for a sauce, it does make a difference. And so I don't use cornstarch on it if I don't have to. Okay. And so we have this locked into place, and I want to show you how we do that. You can see these, this little part right here. When you move it all the way over, it locks into place, and I think I can pick my island up with this, okay? And my island's attached, by the way. All right, I thought that, well, some islands aren't attached, but this one is, all right? Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, and so I'm right-handed, so you need it different. All right, so we're gonna move that. We do want them to be able to see the grating, and so I'm gonna put an angle. And so I will tell you, that's what I do at my parties as well. And this is exactly how I do a Tupperware party. Get somebody to volunteer. Even 2 or 3 people can be around the island, and you're making a recipe, because it makes it fun. People like to touch it. And you know what? People like to see it, and they like to touch it. They like to feel the product. And it, you know, touching our product makes you like, oh my gosh, this is so nice.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, for instance, if you've ever touched a mandolin that is not our mandolin, they are so cheesy. I feel like I'm gonna slice my fingers off, you know? Our mandolin is so nice and sturdy. I absolutely love it. It makes a huge difference. And we're gonna talk about that in a minute. So the cheese grater, this is part of our master system, and it's a grater. We have the one cone in right now. There's lots of different cones. There are 2 cones that come with it. There's 3 additional cones you can get. separately, and they're like an ice grater, and you know, you could do coffee beans in this, you could do nuts in this, you could do your carrots in this for a carrot bread. You can do in here your zucchini for zucchini bread. So it's really, really practical. It's a whole lot more than cheese grater for me. All right.
Oh, wow.
And then I have the cheese in one of our freezer containers. I love these in my refrigerator or my freezer. And I've already cut it down the center because we're going to put it inside of there and just push this right on the top of it. This is actually called I used to think it was called the plunger. It's not.
Hopper?
Hopper.
Hopper.
It's a hopper. Yes, it's a hopper. Okay. And you know, just to make it easier, since that's too long to fit down inside of there, even though if I were doing this right now, I probably would use a phone like that and just use my hand. We don't want to use our hand. We want to use the hopper, right? Hopper. All right. So you push on that and turn on that, and it just will come right out there. There goes nothing.
Oh, and it's easy.
It is easy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and it's so, and that's why it's easier to do it all. In fact, my grandsons love to do this. If I pull this out and get ready to do it, they're like, I want to do it, Anna, I want to do it. They call me Anna. That was the first grandchild's name that she gave me. All right, see how simple that is? And so we're going to have all of this grated in no time at all. And you think, I don't want to take the time to do that, really? you don't have it doesn't even take 5 minutes.
No, not at all.
3 minutes, and it can be all done.
And it's my favorite color. I love red.
Do you?
Can't you help?
Yeah, I do love your hair sweater. It's very cute. I already told you that though. All right. Here, let's go in the bowl. Yeah. Are you guys impressed? Isn't this easy? All right. And so what a great addition to your kitchen, because once you buy it, you only have to buy the base one time. You know, it's all about that base, not that base.
Oh, absolutely.
And you only buy the base one time, and then you buy other toppers. You can have the sorbet maker, you can have the meat grinder. And so there's lots of great products in our Tupperware line. But this absolutely has the right name, Master, because it is one of my favorite products in the line. And for good reasons. Okay. This is the fancy cheese. So if you ever bought cheese before and you like the fancy grade, you'll use this cone for that. And the cone we use is just the regular basic cheese cone. Okay. Oh my goodness. Don't you just love cheese? I think cheese tastes better when it's tiny. So
Absolutely.
Okay. And so we're going to take that off the island now. And you can see, in order to get it off, you unlock it. And then you have this little tiny tab right here. Sometimes you have to pull on that because it still wants to hug the counter. All right. So we're going to put that behind us and take this over there too. All right. Thank you. All right. And so next we've got our potatoes, and that is our mandolin. All right. And our mandolin is amazing. All right. First of all, you will see such a huge difference in our mandolin compared to other mandolins on the market. And I will tell you that I love it because a couple of reasons. One of them, it is very safe because I can put it so all the blades are tucked away. This is the extra blades that store on the bottom. So you can spiralize noodles on this if you have the right blade. So there's comes with one additional blade, but I actually have another blade that was a gift. And that is the little spiralizer. But the blade that it comes with is a ruffle blade, all right? So if you're making potatoes or something like that, and you want to have it rick-racky, you can use that. And then I actually have another blade that I was able to get as a gift, and that's a really tiny, thin, what's that called? Julienne for carrots and stuff like that. And so you can have those little tiny things. Now we have the legs that come up, and the legs can tuck back in, but they go up for this purpose. And then you have the blade itself. So we're going to move it down. And when we move it down, we can take how thick we want it. So we can do a 1, a 2, a 6, a 7, an 8. An 8 would be very fat, all right? So we want to come up to I think that we probably need a 2. A 2 will be good for this. Then you also have, on this part, we have the blade where you put up the little teeth, and you can make French fries or dice or cubes, or there's all kinds of ways. And it just has to do with how you run it down and come up and run it back down. But we're not going to use any of those. And if you want really thin French fries, we have a thin one as well. But we're going to put it in a lock position. So we just want the wedges. All right.
Right.
All right. So what you're going to do is you have your guard. You have to use the guard. All right. very important. And we have our potatoes over here. And so your potatoes are going to go right inside of here, and you can see those little needles that come out of there, the little prongs. And so you're going to put it right down on that, and then you just simply go up and down. Super easy. All right, put it back in prongs. I'm gonna put it like this so they can see it come out.
Okay. Am I not? Yeah.
Here,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay, perfect.
See how quick? Get that potato in there right, and it's going. It takes a few seconds to do a whole potato.
Mhm.
And you're gonna have these nice thin slices, perfect for your scalloped potatoes. All right, and then you have your last little edge, and it's really not that small. You get to the last piece. You can use it or discard it when you get to that last piece. Whatever you decide to do. Just promise me you're not going to try to push it through your finger.
No, because you definitely don't want to hurt yourself.
No, I have to tell you, I know that from experience. All right, I hurt my finger. Of course, I was in front of friends. So it was embarrassing. All right. We're just putting that right on the counter. I could have used this. I just cleaned the counter really good before we started here, just to, because when you have a marble island, you can use it as part of your kitchen cooking. You can put those, we're gonna put in the pressure cooker. Look at those beautiful potato wedges.
It's really simple.
It's simple, isn't it? It
Absolutely.
saves so much time just flipping through there and doing all these potatoes. They were in the refrigerator. I had already peeled them and had them ready to go to make our demo a little simpler. But I will tell you, I use our Tupperware potato cutter, peeler, our Tupperware peeler. Love it. It's absolutely my favorite. That she didn't need to look. She just turned her head completely away. As long as you have that guard, you're safe. Hi. There you go. Okay. Awesome job. All right. And that piece kind of got fat, but we're going to throw it in anyways. All right. So we've got our potatoes in there. We need 5 to 6 potatoes, 1 large onion, sliced on the mandolin. All right, well, we're going to do that on the mandolin too. Let's do it. Put that underneath there and we'll just pick it up that way. You don't want to cry when you make dinner, so the mandolin is going to be partially a guard for you. Just do it just like that. You know what? With this, I actually take it
sideways. Okay.
Like that. And it just makes it easier. And if you wanted to, you could put the teeth up and make thinner slices. Okay, there we go. And we have the thin, oh, nice and thin. Slices of the onion, put that all over that. Woo! People, look at that. It's gonna be perfect. You guys all like onion?
Well, in case you don't.
You don't have to put onion in if you don't like onion, but if you don't like onion, you know what? They're very healthy. All right. Now we have to have a can of, what do we have? A can of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom soup. We've got cream of mushroom, which makes me very happy. All right. Now we do have a can opener here. So would I use my can opener or use this? Why? I would use this because if I use this has been in the warehousing and it's been in grocery stores and I wasn't with it. So I don't know what crawled across it. I don't know what they sprayed in that warehouse. I don't care. I don't want to know. But I do know that if I use my can opener, I'm not putting the top of that can down inside of my soup, all right? Because how many times you go to open something and the lid goes down inside of there, or it just gets a little bit, and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. You pull it out. Yeah, it does. It's yuck, all right? I don't know about you, but I don't want no fly butt in my potatoes, all right? So you can put this right on there, and you could actually go right around it just as if that's not even there. And oh, by the way, to use this, you open the legs, all right? Open the legs, and you put it down, and you close the legs, okay? If you do not spread your legs, it will not work. Food for thought.
Food for thought. And this is the first time I'm using it, so.
Okay.
And it's very simple.
Yeah. You can feel it, the pressure get lighter once you get all the way around. You just feel it come loose, okay?
Yep.
And you can stop now. She's still going thinking it's not open. It's open. All right. Now you're going to spread the legs again, and you're going to put this on the edge of the can, and you can see those little teeth, little bird teeth, and you close it up like that, and you can pick it up like that because it worked, and you pull it right off. Ta-da. Now I will tell you, this is the can opener. I've had people buy it and say, I used it, it does not open my cans. I go, oh no, where are those cans you tried? Because it does open those cans, and you can put this, I will also share with you, one time we only needed a half a can of beans, and somebody put that back on top of there, and somebody else picked it up and put it back away. All of a sudden, something was stinky. It was bad, right? So it does look like it's not even open, but it is open. And I have to be honest with you, the ones that have this tab on it, they're almost easier to open with our Tupperware can opener than a regular can. So interesting, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put that down inside of there. All right, and then we also have salt and pepper and butter. And 1 cup of milk. And 1 cup of grated cheese. What's that for?
I don't know.
Okay. This was going to be Loretta doing this fun demo. And that's why I decided we're going to do it together. And she had a massive headache and could not be here. All right, the butter just says butter. So the pepper, it says salt and pepper. So I guess it depends on you. So we're going to put a half a teaspoon of pepper because that makes sense. It's going to be pretty peppery, actually. Ooh, yummy, yummy. All right. And the salt, and here we come with the salt. And the salt, by the way, I only buy sea salt. You know, your iodized salt, you actually do need a little bit, but I get enough of that every place else. All right. But in my home, I'm going to use healthy salt because all that iodized salt I'm going to get in the food when I eat out. Just everything, every canned food or anything like that, it's already made, pre-made. And so that's how I decided that it would be best for me because you do need a little iodine. So, all right, there you go. And that again is a half teaspoon. And when it comes out, if you want to salt your own, you can. So this is beautiful sea salt. All right. And if you haven't noticed, our potato keeper and our onion keeper over here, I keep them in my pantry. You know, I just hate that bag of potatoes and getting all that dirt all over my floor all the time in my pantry. This is so clean and so easy. So when my potatoes come to the house, the bag that they came in gets destroyed, and I put them down inside of here, and they keep so nicely. And I will share with you, when you want to close your potato bin, you use this to open it, but to close, you push on both sides where those little, the little indents are, and it closes perfectly. If you're going to open it here and you try to close it here, you're not always going to like the seal. It needs to be popped both places, all right? And of course, the onions, it has the grit on it so that there's going to stay the freshest you can possibly have them stay in your pantry. It used to be in your pantry, in a dark room, in a dark place. Okay, always, because the potatoes and the onions, if with the light, they would mold and grow. All right. The nice other thing, cool dark, and that would be perfect for it. And that's why this is black and not clear. I will also share with you that a lot of people use this and they put their yarn in there and they put the yarn string through there, and they can have their yarn inside of there and use this as their yarn dispenser, especially if you're doing multiple colors and you have to go from color to color when you're doing that. So if you're a crafter and you want to do that, that's also good. I have used it before with my different ribbons and my curly ribbons when I want to make different color curly ribbon bows and stuff like that. You just stack them down inside of there and then have the colors come through, and you can pull what you need. So that's fun too. But they're also really good just for snacks, all right? And for kids to have all their snacks down inside of there and to be able to pull out one or two, whether they use the onion or the potato bit. We do sell these from time to time in clear, if you ever see them come out, and they're really designed for that. So that's why they're clear and not the black, all right? I will also tell you what I really like about these. Not only do they keep my pantry cleaner, but onions should never touch your potatoes, ever, all right? Until you're cooking with them, because the root of this onion will rot this potato. So you never want your onions to touch your potatoes.
It's good to know. Yeah.
All right, and so we need 1 cup of milk, and that's already measured, right? All right, and then our butter. Who buys Kerrygold butter? I do. I love good butter. And so we're just gonna put a couple patties of butter on top of it. Now the pressure cooker is what we're using tonight, and if you haven't had a pressure cooker in your home, you need to treat yourself and get yourself a pressure cooker from Tupperware, because they are magic. They're so good. You set it and forget it. And that's what I love so much about our pressure cooker. And so we're going to show you the venting. This is actually a safety feature. And so you have that safety valve. You also have a safety valve right here, a safety valve right here. And when I put this little guy on top of here, he snaps in. And once I snap him in place, here it goes. I'm gonna snap him right in place, and it just goes like that. And then this little rubber piece right there, that is another safety pin feature. So there's no way this is going to ever do anything but work for you, as long as you've got all your safety pins. You're gonna put the arrow with the arrow, okay? And once you put the arrows together, then you twist it locked and twist it down, and you're locked and ready to go. Oh, perfect. Locked and loaded, all right? And so we're gonna cook this in the microwave for 20 minutes. Literally, set it and forget it. So 20 minutes and done. All right. And next, we're going to turn it over to Ellen. Ellen, ready? All right. Ellen, you can come here and I'll clean up around you if you like to, or you can sit there. Either way. Sure, I'll sit here. Okay. Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, it's fun.
Isn't that fun? It's a great way to do a party. Hey, didn't you guys think?
I'm assuming they can hear me on this. It's picking up somewhere.
Hi guys. Hi. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about the book "Who Moved My Cheese." Right. So it's a book "Who Moved My Cheese" by Spencer Johnson. It's part of the 1 Minute Manager series. And if you have ever kind of just looked into the 1 Minute Manager series, it's a series of books that was published a long time ago. So when I first graduated, over the screen. When I first graduated school many years ago, when I was 19, I think, and I got my first job, I was required to read the 1 Minute Manager. And it was such a quick read, and it was such a great book about how to be an efficient manager, focusing on things 1 minute at a time, right? And so it was my first managing job, right? And it was at Johnny Rockets in Indianapolis. And so I read that book, and it just kind of turned me on to that whole series of books. So when Who Moved My Cheese came out, when I saw that book, I was like, I have to read this book. And it's all about just kind of adapting to change. And it's just kind of a story about, and the thing I love about the 1 Minute Manager series, and John Gordon does this too, is he kind of tells stories, right? So he's a storyteller. So he kind of tells a story about a person, maybe. If you're familiar with like the energy bus, it's about a guy and his car breaks down, so he has to take the bus, and the bus driver tells him all the stories and the rules and all that jazz. So it's kind of along those sort of lines. So with Who Moved My Cheese, it's 4 little mice, right? And so the mice's names are let's see here, Snip and Scurry and Hem and Haw. So I think we know what Snip and Scurry do, and I think we know what Hem and Haw do, right? So Snip and Scurry kind of get on board with change, and Hem and Haw are sitting around going, I don't know, I'm not sure what we're gonna do, right? So all of them are in a maze, right? And so the whole point of the story is that the cheese, which is their food, and so in our world, that's our business, right? So that's our business, the sales. So the cheese gets moved, right? Slowly throughout the book, the cheese is being taken away. So they start noticing that there's less cheese when they go there every day. So then they start trying to have to adapt to this change. And so, so they start trying to adapt. So Snip and Scurry, Snip and Scurry, they start adapting quicker than Hem and Haw, because Hem and Haw, what are they doing? They're hemming and hawing, trying to figure out what to do, right? And they just keep going back expecting something to change, expecting the cheese to just replenish itself instead of trying to find new ways or new paths to find more cheese, right? So that's kind of the gist of the story, but I'm going to share with you some of the main takeaways and lessons of the story. But I highly suggest getting the book at an Audible or whatever it is. You can rent it from the library. Lots of libraries have ways that you can like digitally rent books, and it's absolutely free. And you can do it right through your phone. So just something to consider. So my daughter was so funny when she was home over the summer. She was like so excited when she realized that she can hook her library card up to her phone, and then she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can like borrow books all the time for free." She's like, oh, she's a big reader. So the first one is change is inevitable, right? Change happens. It happens all around us all the time, no matter what, right? So the book example is the cheese in the maze, right? The cheese in the maze represents success, comfort, or stability, right? It's our food. It's what nourishes us. It's what in our business. It's what supplies our business. It's what keeps that business going, right? So it's moved and it's running out, and it symbolizes the change in our life and our business. So the way it kind of applies to our business, think about market trends, think about customer preferences, company strategies, because that shifts regularly. We've seen it in Tupperware company strategies shifting over the last couple of years. Think about omni-channels, right? We didn't even know what that word meant a couple of years ago, and now we know, right? Think about things like that. Think about their social media policies. Think about things along those lines. So recognizing these changes are natural and they're expected. Oh, I thought she was putting another camera on me. I'm like, what is happening right now? Okay, so what are hi Pam? It's like my good conscience and my bad conscience. So who wants to be on this side? Jeni? No, just kidding.
On my way.
Okay, so the action steps with that is to train yourself to anticipate these changes, right? Change is inevitable. We know that. So we know that things are going to shift and change. So we need to kind of learn to adapt to that and expect the change. It's okay if we kind of drag our feet a little bit. Okay, it's okay if we kick and scream a little bit and we do a little bit of whine. We can have a pity party for 60 seconds and then we need to move on, right? Okay, so that's okay. But the change is inevitable. And so that's rule number one. So, well, not rule number one, it's takeaway number one. So takeaway number two is adaptation is key to survival and success, right? So the book example is the mice, Sniff and Scurry, immediately start adapting. They immediately go looking for another cheese source, right? They immediately start looking to see, all right, so if there's less and less cheese here, there must be more cheese someplace else. We have to go find it, right? So they start looking and venturing out into the maze and finding those new opportunities. Hem and Haw, however, resist that change and suffer as a result, right? They're just keep going back and there keeps being less and less cheese because it's not being replenished. And we've seen that before, right? We've seen it maybe, you had a customer stream from a specific, maybe you went to a specific vendor event year after year, and you could see that there were less and less customers coming to this vendor event year after year, but you still kept going to that same vendor event and just thinking that maybe somehow one year it was just going to keep getting better and better, but it kept going down and down. So you saw the trend, but you ignored it. Why? Because it was your favorite, or you like the person sitting beside you, but you weren't, you were kind of putting that priority over your business priority, right? And so, let's see here, when faced with challenges such as declining sales, new targets, or team restructuring, right? You want to adapt quickly in seeking those solutions instead of dwelling on problems. And sometimes even top leaders sometimes dwell on problems way too long, and it can slow them down and sometimes even put them out of business. And I know Pam can attest to this, and anybody that's been in Tupperware for a while can attest to seeing very top leaders that we've seen their names over and over again in recognition. And all of a sudden one day you're like, whatever happened to so-and-so? And a lot of times that's exactly what happened. They dwelled on their problems way too long and they ended up putting themselves out of business. Don't be that person, right? All right, so the action step is when something isn't working for you, what can you focus on, right? What is it that you can focus on? You can focus on the solution, right? Focus on the solution. It's okay if you don't know what that solution is, right? That's absolutely okay. but you can go to your leader and be like, here is my problem. And I'm trying to focus on the solution and I can't quite find the solution. And the two of you can work on that solution together, right? All right, so number 3 is monitor your cheese regularly, right? You gotta monitor that cheese in order to notice if it's depleting, right? So you wanna look at it. So in the book, Sniff and Scurry constantly check the supply of cheese, staying prepared for potential changes. Hem and Haw, however, take the cheese for granted and are unprepared when it runs out. This is very easy, right? So how this applies to us is analyzing your markets, right? Analyzing your market trends, customer behavior, competition and strategies to stay ahead of shifts. And you use data performance and metrics. And some of you are like, what in the world is she even talking about, right? So when it comes to social media, that might be the meta, right? That might be the metadata. That might be looking back at your, so that's like analytics, right? That's the word. That's like the analytics, right? So if you ever see that word, click on it, okay? Click on that and start looking at those numbers because they have graphs and they have charts. You may not understand it at first, but you can Google it, right? I don't understand it half the time, but I know I can always Google it and just keep clicking on things. Anything that's clickable, click it. And then you're gonna be like, I saw this number somewhere and I don't know where I saw it, but it said this, right? And then in your Tupperware back office, there are also some numbers there to pay attention to. And as leaders, we look at those numbers too. We look at our recruiting, we look at our team counts, we look at things like that. And that tells us like, oh, my team count's really low. I think we need to work on recruiting. Or my manager count's low. I need to work on helping some more people and working with my people more one-on-one. So we look at things like that and the way they're trending to know where we need to focus, right? So that's really important. So number 4 is fear of change can hold you back. Absolutely, it can hold you back. The example is Hem and Haw refused to leave the empty cheese station because of the fear of the unknown. Haw, though initially hesitant, overcomes his fears and finds new cheese. Application to sales is that it is the fear of trying new techniques and leaving a comfort zone. So for some people, the new technique is social media. And for some people, the new technique is home parties, right? So we have both sides, right? We have somebody who does all social media and the new technique is doing stuff in person. And then we have the other person that does all in-person things and the new technique is social media, right? So don't be afraid to try new things. That is where the growth happens. It's in the new, right? So go for it. Go for it. Go for it. It feels uncomfortable and it can be really scary, but do it anyways, right? Step through the fear, right? It's okay. We all feel the fear, but we do it anyways. All right. And so conduct a brainstorming session with your favorite, business buddy and just be like, hey, can you work with me on this? And everybody does that, right? And maybe it's even just your partner, maybe it's your spouse, your significant other, and be like, hey, can you just kind of brainstorm my Tupperware business with me? And just kind of be like, this is what I'm thinking. And in a perfect world, it would look like this, and just kind of like work through it. Or your BFF. Ideally, it's somebody in Tupperware because there's a shorthand there. You don't have to do quite as much explaining about some of the inner workings of Tupperware because they kind of get it, right? All right, so number 5 is you want to visualize success and stay motivated. That is such a key to any success in any business whatsoever. And the example from the book is Haw imagines himself enjoying new cheese, right? And which motivates him to keep exploring the maze to find that cheese. And for us, anybody in sales, you focus on those long-term goals. And that's why we do our pillowcases. That's why we do our vision boards. That's why we put screensavers on our phones. That's why we do all of the things that we do. I went through my phone this year and I actually changed some of the contact names in my phone to like inspire me to be better, right? And I put, I made my daughter, like the contact name is Proud Daughter, right? Because I want her to be proud of me, and things like that. And it just makes me feel good. Every time she calls, I look at that and I'm like, I want to make her proud of me. So I'm going to work hard today, and it just, and my sister, I changed hers to Proud Sister of Organizational Leader of the Year. And that's what did that for me. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. And I went through it. They're really long. I don't know what just happened. They're really long titles, right? And so it comes through and it like scrolls on my computer, like it's really big, but I don't care, you know, and it just, that's something extra that I'm doing this year, trying to like, just get in that place and get in that space, whatever I can do, right? So visualizing, it helps so much. So number 6, embrace the adventure of change, right? It is an adventure. Life is an adventure, and it's ever, ever changing. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. There's nothing we can do. All we can do is lean in, right? So in the book, Paul realizes that exploring the maze is exciting and it's fulfilling. You know, he learns valuable lessons and discovers new cheeses, right? Who doesn't love new cheeses, right? He discovers new cheeses. And so in our business, shifting market conditions can bring opportunities for learning and growth, right? It can bring you to new people and new business and new customers, and treat challenges as a chance to innovate and to improve. So, you know, the action step there is just to celebrate all of the wins, the little wins, and new discoveries during times of change, and keep your morale high as you can through anything that you can do. So things that you can do to apply these lessons in real life is to have that mind shift, right? That mindset shift, and train yourself to really, you know, view change as an opportunity rather than a setback, because it never is a setback. You know, it really truly is a setup. It's a setup to something more amazing. You know, and sometimes it looks like a setback because you have to really kind of step through something, and maybe it's a barrier that you have to break through to get there. But I'm telling you, so much amazing stuff is on the other side of that. And maybe it's a stronger you, a more resilient you, but it's just so amazing. But you have to keep moving forward with that. So identify some steps for you to take away from this is: 1, identify potential changes in your business, right? So maybe it's just kind of maybe some things that are coming down the road for you. Maybe you have something in your life that's coming up. Maybe you have somebody graduating this year. Maybe you have a move coming up, something like that you know is going to be a little bit challenging for you, right? And just see that up ahead coming. Identify those things. And 2, conduct role-playing exercises, you know, maybe with a business buddy or your leader, to practice adapting to some of these things. So be like, I have these challenges that might be coming up. So how can I grow through that? Like, what are some things that I can do now to grow through these challenges? Maybe some skills I can learn to grow through this challenge that's coming. And 3, share some personal success stories. Share them with other people in the business, to be able to just start building yourself up and also building others, you know, because somebody's going to learn from your success as well. So just kind of some closing thoughts is to, you know, just kind of, you know, just remember that change is natural, you know, because sometimes you feel like everything's happening to you instead of for you. And it really is natural, and you're not alone. We are all ever changing, you know, and we're all changing together. And when you do feel like you are alone and you're struggling with that, that's the time to reach out so that you don't feel isolated in that change, whatever it is that you're going through, or a struggle that you're having in your business. And that's when you reach out to your leader so that they can support you through your change, and also just kind of mastermind with you on steps that you can take to improve through that change, so that you can come out on the other side just stronger and ready to face the next one. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellen. That was so good. And you know, it's hard for me to thank Ellen and look at that camera when she's right there. But that's part of the fun of doing what we do live, right? All right, so I hope you can smell this amazing potatoes, scalloped potatoes. They smell so good. And for you that thought she forgot to put cheese on it, we did. We put the cheese in there. All right. So speaking of change, I have a change for you. All right, we have a change that I think you're going to be pretty excited about, and that is our Ready, Set, Activate program. And it is not changing for what the setup and the qualifications are, but the awards are changing. And so instead of getting a piece of Vent and Serve for your first coming in as a brand new consultant and selling your $100 before the end of the month that you join, instead of getting one piece of Vent and Serve, you're going to get $15 cash. Cash in your Tupper account means that you've got a $15 voucher. So when you go to spend it, you could go ahead and put it towards anything you want or save it, because when you're brand new, you've got 3 months that you can earn these vouchers. And in your very first month, if you sell $100, you get a $15 voucher. If you sell $250, you get a $25 voucher. Wow, right? Jumping pretty quick. That means you're up to $35 in voucher that you get to use. If you sell $500, you get to add a $50 voucher. And when you sell $750 in your first month, oh my goodness, you get, are you ready? You get to add an additional $75 voucher. That's $165. Do the math, okay? So if you sell $750 in your first month of the business, you're going to get a $160 voucher, $165 voucher. Now, what's really good about this is you could spend them all at one time, or you can wait till the end of your program, and you've got 30 days after the end of your first 3 months that you have to spend those vouchers. And if you come in your first month and you do that $750, you're going to get $165. If you do the second month and you do $750, you're going to get a $165 voucher over and above the money you're making. This is not the money you're making. These are bonuses. This is a bonus for our newest consultants. And if you do the third month as well and do $750, you're going to get another $165 voucher. Now, good news is, add it all up. Did you do that already? It's $495. All right. That's $495 with a new Tupperware you can have in your kitchen. Now you can use it toward premium products or buy everything you want. Do a cabinet in your modular mates. You know what? Get yourself a new impression line. Whatever you choose to do, you get to use those vouchers towards your favorite, and you've got 30 days to do it after the end of your first 3 months. All right. Now I want to also tell you more good news. If you join in November or December and January is your third month, all of your months are going to turn into vouchers, because we don't want to penalize you. Because obviously it's better to have those vouchers, get anything you want, instead of having to decide the voucher. We just don't want to penalize you, all right? There is a lack of some of those items, and there wouldn't be enough to go around for everybody, and so we decided to change it all and make it vouchers for everybody, November, December, and January, and moving forward. Who loves it, right? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Love it, love it. And maybe it's not for you, maybe it's for the person you're going to bring in the business, but don't you feel that that's a very powerful tool to use for recruiting when you tell them they can get up to $165 every month in vouchers for their first 3 months in business? That's pretty cool, all right? So get them to join this week and make sure they hit before the 31st of January. Make sure they hit that 750 or get as close to it as possible so they can get all the way up to that 165. All right, it's time to give away something for our auction again. And so when you're ready to hold up your auction, ladies, ready? I need the bowl with the numbers in it.
How many quarters are we doing on this?
Okay, this is 3 quarters, and this is one we're using. I have to tell you, I love this. This is 2.5 cups, and it's part of our one of our newer lines. And what I love so much about it is they're kind of like modular mates for the refrigerator, all right? They're designed to keep those modular mates in your refrigerator, and you'll love it too. So for 75 cents right now, you've got a chance to win this. Fun, fun, fun. And so what number, oh, by the way, they're instant seals too. So you just push it in the center and it seals for you. So elbow, thumb, whatever you want to do, knee, if you have a really little butt. All right, so let's go ahead and find what our lucky number is. And you're gonna hold up that paddle if that's your number. Get excited because it is number 1. Yay! Who's number 1? That's Suzanne. Yes, Suzanne or Suzette. What was
Suzanne.
Suzanne. Yay, Suzanne. You just won. All right. All right. So your odds are good, guys, if you bought tickets, because honestly, odds were good. All right. See. Okay, so next that was really fun. We're gonna go right to Jeni now, and she's gonna talk to you. Oh, let's do one more. Let's do, it's wrapped with a bow. That makes it more expensive. So this is 3 quarters right now. So 3 quarters of the bowl. 3/4, 3/4. All right, we got 3/4 in the bowl, and we've got our lucky number coming out right now, and it is 9. Oh, go ahead, loser. No, you don't say that. I'll just leave it. Just say that. All right, spin again, spin again. She didn't throw her quarters in. Okay, here we go. We got an 8.
That's a no.
Go ahead, you guys say it. I'm not saying it. All right, spin again. We're gonna pull out one lucky number, and it is 4.
Oops, I'm not playing. Definitely.
Okay, can I say it? All right, we got one more number. Number 5.
I don't.
Oh, that's not what, it's not taken. It's not a taken number. No, that's true numbers. Okay. All right, let's pull it out. I accidentally put those back in there. 7. That's not taken either. We should pull those numbers out. All right, here we go. 6.
Okay.
Yay!
You like credit cards tonight. I just got out the, to be fair, I just got out the ICU.
Oh, she's gonna have an ICU.
Jeni, what is square at?
Yay, congratulations. It has boo-boo on it. It's all bougie. So it's more expensive. That's why we had
This ain't fair,
3/4.
man.
So if you wrap it and put a bow on it, it's bougie and it makes it more expensive. It does.
You got good
All right.
luck.
So it's time for us to turn it over to Jeni. Jeni's gonna talk to you about the 5-second rule.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you
So,
read it.
it's book night, in case you hadn't noticed. And Mel Robbins is honestly one of my favorite authors. I know who she was a few years ago, but I love John Gordon. There's other people that I really like to listen to and to read their books, but Mel Robbins was one of those people where I saw her on video first, and I really, really connected with her, like, mentally, and I was just like, I like this lady. And then I started reading her books, and she writes like she talks, which is fantastic for me because that's easy to read. So the 5-second rule, if you haven't heard of it, is just, it's like what Ellen was talking about. It's a way to totally change your mindset in 5 seconds. And it's not a miracle cure. It is just a call to action. So we're talking about the changes. We're talking about things that you have to deal with in your life. And the biggest thing that you have to deal with in your life is you, okay? The thing that is going to keep you from doing something, the thing that's going to make you do something, the thing that's going to talk you out of doing something you know you need to do, that's you. That's inside your head. That is the first person you have to deal with in the morning and the last person you have to deal with at night. And Mel Robbins talks about the best way to just get over yourself, to get over whatever's holding you back and make it happen. So one of the things that you need to think about when you start, like, let's say her first example is getting up in the morning. And there's that little snooze button on your phone. There's a snooze button on your alarm clock, depending on what wakes you up. And she said she used to hit that snooze button for over an hour every morning because she didn't want to get up. She didn't want to get up. She had lost her job. She was home. When she didn't get up, her husband kind of picked up the slack for her, and so he could get the kids up and stuff. She just didn't want to. And she said what she finally realized was she was never going to want to. The things that she didn't feel like doing, she just didn't feel like doing. And she realized it when one of her kids said something to her one day, and she said something about, when are you going to clean that room? And her daughter said, I just don't feel like it. And she goes, you're never going to feel like cleaning your room, but we have to get it clean. So she was watching the NASA. She was watching a rocket take off one day. And she was listening to them count down. And she said, they counted down and they got to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when they said 1, that rocket took off. The people in the rocket couldn't stop it. The people on the ground couldn't stop it. When they got to 1, somebody hit the button and it took off. And she said, I realized that that's what I needed to do to get myself started in the morning. And anytime I didn't want to do something, and I didn't feel like doing it. She goes, so what I suggest to everyone, and it sounds funny when I first started reading it, I was like, really? But she said, if you need to, let's say you need to make those phone calls, okay? Or just even you need to get online and just post something. But you get online and you start looking at reels, or you get online, you start reading other things. When you get to be my age, about 2 other things, and you forget what you got online to do anyway. So then you have to wait another half an hour before it comes back to you, okay? But when you start to do something and you find yourself putting it off, whatever it is, start with 5. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. Get up and do it right then. Doesn't work if you start with 1 and go to 5, because when you get to 5, if you still don't feel like doing it, you can go 6, 7, 8, 9, you can count forever. But if you're counting backwards, when you get to 1, it's game over. It's time to go get into action. So don't overthink it. Don't overthink the things that you need to do. Don't overthink some of the things, like if you're going to go live, if you want to do a demo, even if you just want to call somebody. If you overthink it, you're not going to do it. We all know that, because then you start making excuses for yourself and for them. I can remember when I first started, and they would say, make phone calls. Okay, so I would get ready to make phone calls, but if I didn't really want to make phone calls, I would look at the clock and go, oh, now's not a good time to call. It's 2 in the afternoon. Their kids are taking a nap. They're probably busy. They don't want to talk on the phone. I'll wait. And then at 3:30, I would be like, oh, kids are coming home from school. They don't have time to talk to me now. They need to talk to their kids. 5 o'clock was dinner time. Couldn't call somebody during dinner. That was just rude. And you know what? By 7 o'clock, and let's face it, guys, at 7 o'clock, we are all still doing things. But I could convince myself that 7 o'clock was too late to call somebody. That wasn't, it was too late. I'd have to wait till tomorrow morning. And we all know that in the morning it was either too early, or who knew what, maybe they had to go to the grocery store, they didn't have time to talk to me. And I could talk myself out of making phone calls for days at a time for no apparent reason. And then one day I was like, I gotta make these phone calls. It has to happen. And I looked at my phone and I was like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up the phone, make the phone call. And you know what? Nobody hung up on me. Nobody was rude. Nobody, some people didn't answer. I got to leave a voicemail. That's fine. But I did it. And I found out that it didn't just work in those instances. It worked in other things I didn't want to do, just like getting up in the morning, or maybe just doing the dishes, or starting a load of laundry. And I'm doing something else, and I'm like, I should really go start that load of laundry in a few minutes. But it wasn't going to start itself. And at my house, nobody else was going to start it. So they got to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just go start the load of laundry. And I kind of play games with myself with different things. If I set the microwave to do something like 20 minutes for the potatoes in the microwave in the pressure cooker, I like to see how much I can get done in that 20 minutes. And it's amazing, even if you set the microwave for like 2 minutes, you get a lot done in 2 minutes if you decide that that's what you're going to do when you kind of race the clock on the microwave, okay? You can get a whole dishwasher full of stuff put away while something's in the microwave. But the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if you have not read that book, and you don't have to buy the book, I suggest it, it's a great book, but you can get on YouTube and search Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule, and you get all kinds of little, because she did a TED Talk on it too, so you get just, 30 and 60 and 90 seconds worth of her. And I really believe that once you hear her, you're going to want to read the book. You're going to become a fan, because she is amazing. So tomorrow morning, when you get ready to decide what you're going to do, start your day by going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to YouTube Mel Robbins and see if I like her or not.
I think that was awesome. You guys like that? All right, it's time to do another auction. So if you're liking this auction, put in the chat, because you might not have known or realized that when you registered that you could actually buy your auction tickets. And so if you missed it, it was just in the registration. If you use the drop form to register, you could have a chance to buy the raffle tickets, and also you had a chance to buy the auction tickets, okay? And so if you like it, we could do it again, just for fun. It's always fun to have a chance to win, right? And obviously, I'm mailing them to you for free. So not making any money here, but that's okay. We had fun, right? Added some energy to our meeting. So our next quarter auction is right here. These are perfect. These are 1 cup bowls. Do you know, Weight Watchers, they want you to eat 1 cup of this, 1 cup of that, 1 cup of that. You don't got your measuring cups. Get your bowls. 1 cup, snack bowls right there. All right, these are also perfect for the center of the serving center. You have serving center. I don't care what color it is. If it's black, it's really cool because it's like, oh, gold and black.
That's black and yellow.
It would be Halloween.
You're now
All right, so the other thing you can do is, you know, if the other colors, it kind of makes it fun to have a different color bowl in the center. Also, I want to tell you that I like these because they're so practical to put a little bit of this and a little bit of that back in the refrigerator, and they're really good for that. They are plastic sheer, believe it or not. You can actually kind of see through them. It doesn't look like it, but if I take this off and put my hand through there, see how you can see my fingers? All right, so you kind of can see through them. Because they're considered plastic sheer. And of course, anytime you see a round seal Tupperware, you walk your hands all the way around and snap it shut. And if you want it to be airtight and liquid tight, you push in the center, pull on the side just a little bit, get the extra air out of there. And if it's round, make sound. If it's square, leave the air. And so every time you can have that perfect airtight seal and it's not going to leak. And a bowl without a seal is like a car without a wheel. It doesn't work. So you need Tupperware. All right. I just gave you a little bit of my scoop there. Right. So, we're going to do this with 4 quarters. We got 2 bowls, 4 quarters. 4 quarters, and if you're playing, throw them in. Playing, throw them in. Oh, she wants to win. All right, we got some extra winners. I put all the cards back in. So if you lose twice in a row, don't play the lottery.
Hey, Pam, Sevilla asked what she bought tickets for. She bought raffle tickets.
You bought raffle tickets, Sevilla. All right. And our lucky winner is number 1, Suzanne. You're gonna win again, Suzanne. You got your little stash right there to go with you. Suzanne bought raffle tickets and auction tickets, so she's really gonna have a chance to win tonight. All right. So, well, we have 1 more auction, and you're gonna have a chance to think about this one a little bit and see if you really, really want it. I'll tell you, everybody wants this. Everybody wants it. You're gonna be like, how do I buy that? Don't. You have to win it right now. All right. And so it is a portable chop set or spoon and fork. So it has the handles here. So you pull out the handle. That's the handle. Then you pull out the spoon or the fork, and you go ahead and put it on there. And you have your spoon, or you can add the fork, or you can add the chopsticks. Is that not the coolest ever? So it's portable, and these are antibacterial. That's the big deal. All right. When you have the disposable spoon and forks, they do have bacteria. They have bad plastics. They've got plasticizers in it. They're not healthy. Don't be putting that in your mouth over and over and over again. And certainly don't wash it and use it again. That is not okay. This is dishwasher safe, no plasticizers, and it is absolutely antibacterial. Isn't that so cute? Isn't that adorable? You know you want it. Perfect for lunches and perfect for on the go. But it's also really good just to have in your car. You know, how many times have you wanted chopsticks in the car?
so often.
Never.
All the time.
All the time, right?
Just today.
Just today. It does.
Or if you want to poke someone and you're really angry at that person. Sorry.
No.
My evil side came out. Sorry.
You would use them in the car and take it to the restaurant if you wanted to go in someplace, or if you order fast food and you want to eat it with a spoon and a fork and not whatever they gave you. All right. So right now it is 4 quarters. 4 quarters.
Okay,
We got winners all over the place here. All right. 4 quarters. 4 quarters. Okay. And here we go. 4 quarters tonight. All right. Who's got a knot? This is fun. All right. All right, we're gonna spin. Put in the chat. Give me a heart. Give me some love. All right, so here we go. We are going to roll out 1 lucky number. Who wants to win? And I got 1. And I'm showing it to 1. This is what I got. Congratulations! This is the paddle number 1 in the air. You have to have your paddle in the air to win. I'm 6.
Suzanne.
Suzanne! Oh my gosh, everybody's screaming right now. All right, Suzanne, here you go. Loaded it up. All right. We had a feeling you were going to be a lot of winners. But you were going to be a lot of winners. A lot of winners. A lot of winners. All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you had a good time. We want to show off our potatoes, and let me pull that out. And it is ready to open. So when you pull this out of the microwave, you do not open this until your spout is down. And so it is down already. You come over. Our assistant, Nina. All right, and so it is completely down, and so that has to be completely down for you to open it. If you open it before that, that's dangerous. Don't ever do that. You have to let that valve go completely down. And when you pull it out of the microwave at first, if you pull it out right away, I just let mine sit in the microwave. It is up in the air and it's wiggling a little bit, all right? When it's in the microwave, it goes up in the air and dances, all right? But now we are gonna raise the valve, all right? And then we're gonna twist it open. So we're gonna put our arrows back together. So twist it open and they're ready to open it. Now, if you want a facial, go ahead and open it right in your face. But you might want to do it away from your face like this, and so you don't get a facial, all right? And you can look at that. Oh my goodness, does that look delicious? Does that smell good? Oh my gosh, that smells amazing. We're gonna test it out for you and let you know, all right? Great addition to any supper. You know, you can have some turkey left over and you think, I don't want turkey without something yummy with it. So you can get this. You can have hamburgers and have some scalloped potatoes. You can have ham. Ham is so quick and easy to make, and you can have some scalloped potatoes on the side. Isn't that easy? Absolutely. Easy and delicious. And it's set it and forget it. That's what's so great about our pressure cooker. Yes, love it. Yes. Definitely. And if you've never done the one pot pasta, so simple. You throw your raw herring in there, your sauce in there, your cheese in there, your pasta in there. You stir it all up, seal it up, put it in the microwave. And when you do your raw meat, you want to buy low fat, as slow as you can go. In fact, if you do ground turkey or ground chicken, it's even better. And you have a phenomenal pasta that quick. And you don't even have to boil it up the stove or waste time. It's just boom, boom. All right, 20 minutes done. You're going to love this product. And everybody needs this product. If you don't have one yet, treat yourself, because this is an amazing product. You could have a party right now with a party of $1,000 in sales. You are going to get $400 for, what is it, 15 or 25? 20. It's 20. Okay, $400 for 20. $200 for free, and another $200 for 20. How fun. All right, and this smells great, doesn't it, guys? We're going to test it out. I'm going to leave the lid off so it cools off a little bit for us, and we can all try it. But right now, we're going to bring over those the raffle. And so our raffles, we have, oh my, we have a lot of cool things. You know, this is one of my favorite books. This is not because I'm pregnant, but because it tells you what to eat when you really want to be your healthiest, all right? And good proteins inside of here. And this is When Mama Eats Well. And not meaning your pregnant mama, but every mom needs to take care of herself, because when she takes care of herself, she is fueled and ready to take care of her family. And so it's a great book from Tupperware about healthy eating and how to make healthy meals with your Tupperware. And then we also have a pasta cookbook. This has got so many great recipes for our Tupperware pasta maker. And this has got a rectangle pasta maker, but remember our smart cooker is also a pasta maker. So you could use these recipes in that as well. And you'll love these options. And then the other two things we're giving away is, love this. This is part of our Crystal Wave. And I love our Crystal Wave now. All of our new Crystal Wave is stain guarded. So it's not going to have all the pre-stained, I used to call it, orange pasta and so forth inside, stains in there. Not going to happen inside of our new Crystal Waves. And last but not least, this is something you can't buy, but you will love, and that is a Tupper insulated thermos. And so you can see how cool that is. You can use it for beverages, hot or cold, or you can use it for pasta. Remember that little boy I told you eats really, really healthy? He takes pot stickers to school in this little container, and they're hot for him at lunch. And so he can eat his pot stickers because he loves his pot stickers. And mommy sends a little bit of soy sauce with another little container, and he loves his pot stickers, all right? And he'll eat them all. And his little friends are looking at him like, what are you eating? He said, my pot stickers. All right. So all of 7 years old. All right. So our tickets are right here. And so our lucky tickets, they have names on the back.
They have names. Hers has numbers.
Hers has numbers. Okay. So if there's no name on the back, it's her. Okay, Nina, you got chances here. All right.
Hey, Pam. So the red registration. If they are online, they had to register and buy the tickets online before to win.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah. We'll do it again next week. If you guys like it, tell us in the chat. Hey, we like it. We want to do it again. And we'll do it again. It's fun. It's fun, fun, fun. All right. Who said no?
nobody said
Nobody. Oh, I can't hear good. Yeah, I got a little issue going on with my ears, and it'll fix. But I did burst both my eardrums. Remember that little boy I told you about? I slept with little germs. Okay, they're precious. They love their animal. But I got sick, and then I got an ear infection, and then I couldn't hear. All right, but it's gonna be better. All right, I've already been to the specialist. Don't be texting me and telling me what to do. All right, here we go. We got a lucky ticket winner right now, and it is. There's a name on the back. Sorry, Lena. And it's Seville. You just won. Your kids will love it. You will love it. You need this, Sevilla. All right. Next winner is. We're gonna put them in order so it's easy to see. All right, here we go. Next winner is. Oh, winner. All right. Oh, I got it. It's got a name. Christina Simone. Congratulations, you got the crystal wave. All right. Next winner. Come on. What we got one. It's got a name on the back. It does. And it's Jerry Fortune. Congratulations, Jerry Fortune. Healthy eating. And our last one, our pasta cookbook. What is it? And it I can't look. It's got names or no names. All right, I got one. And it has Jerry Fortune, congratulations. You're gonna have 2 new cookbooks. Now, guys, you play these games not only for you to have what you can win, but sometimes you use them for your next door prize or your Tupper party. So your Pam swag, all that stuff I send to you, use it, reuse it to grow your business. You don't have to keep it in your kitchen. It's not about you. It's about how can you grow your business. All right, guys, I hope you had a great time tonight. I enjoyed it so much. And I love having people in my house for our live. All right, thank you guys for showing. And we are going to try and really, really make sure that everybody understands the auction party for the next time so you can play with us. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.